The founder of the Center for Creative Economy. We are here today. We have some people in person with us, which is great, and lots of you online, and I'm sure there'll be more joining as we get started. Just want to welcome everybody to our virtual Momentum Meetup. We did convert Momentum to virtual in March due to the COVID-19. We generally, in the past, have had lunch events right here in this room. But we're virtual today, so that is fine. We want to welcome our Momentum members and sponsors that are back. Thank you. And want to say a special shout out to all the new folks that are joining today. Welcome. We look forward to getting to know you and learning about what you're up to in the creative industries. Also, I'd like to introduce our staff. We have Destiny Charles, who is program coordinator. There she is. Hey, Destiny. And a new intern today. Destiny has recently joined us as program coordinator. She's a new face on our team, although she was with us last year during Velocity. And we have a new intern, Brenda. Say hi. Brenda is from UNCG. She's our marketing intern, Brenda Olmedo. So she's in the room, not on the Zoom yet. And then I want to also give a big shout out to Shelby Newsome, who's our marketing and events manager. She is in the room, but listening. We have it all. We have it being broadcast in the room here, so not everybody on the staff is online. So, as we tend to do with our Momentum events, we always like to introduce folks. We like to hear what's new with you. What's going on in your business, in your world? What's happening? Is there something new you'd like to share with the group? Would love to just open it up to anyone who would like to share. Give us some new news. What's going on? We got some new people that are joining us. That's good. New news. Come on. What's new? What's going on? You can unmute and you can talk a little bit. I know you're also shy. Well, I don't think that Beverly's shy. So, Beverly, this is the time to tell them what's new with you. And you're a new attendee too. So why don't you share with us what's going on?
Well, thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. Yes, one of the things that's new is learning about the Center for Creative Economy. The Center for Creative Economy. And I was telling Margaret beforehand, I met with a young man named Santiago Ramos. That maybe he told me about. He said, you should really look into this. And so I'm just over here kind of restraining my excitement and my exuberance. Wait to hear more about what you guys are about and what you do, and just learn more and perhaps plug in. And so if I seem a little ooh, it's because I am. So
just give us the 30 seconds of what it is you do with your music business.
Okay, so I'm the administrator of a startup company called KBN 66 Productions, and our big picture goal, which will probably take about 10 years according to our plan, is we're going to set the infrastructure to commercially viable world-class music that is sung and written by songwriters and musicians and singers from around the world, who will then be bringing their cultural instruments and their cultural sounds to it. And through that, what we're going to be addressing the questions that we believe everybody, no matter where you live on the planet, people ask at some point or another. Why am I here? Does my life matter? Do I count? Am I loved? And do I have purpose? And there's much more complicated, much more to that. But those are kind of our core goal. And we're very excited. Kanal is our marketing director. He's from Singapore. And then Nikhil is from India, and he did work for Bollywood and Disney. And then Kurt, the other musician guy, was trained in Hollywood, now lives in Nashville. So we've already done some work. The music is very moving and very high quality, and I get the privilege of working with these guys.
Great. So, and when did the organization get founded?
In March of 2019.
Okay, so it's a new creative entity that's in our community. So it's good to meet you. Glad you joined us.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
So I'm also wanted to just share with you all that we at the Center for Creative Economy are in the middle of, have launched our Velocity Accelerator. This is the 9-week program that we host every year to help creative businesses get their programs launched, to launch, grow, and accelerate. We have a team of about 30 mentors that are working with our teams, our cohort, which is 10 people right now, 10 teams. We have about 12 people engaged in this work. There's 10 teams moving through our accelerator. They're working really hard. We just concluded a mentoring session this morning on business models. We work them through customer discovery, business model, messaging, financials, and then how to go to market and how to seek financing for your creative business. So there may be a few people on our call. I'm not sure. I know that we do have 2 people in the room from Velocity, and I'd like to just introduce them. We have Rahel and Matthew Reinecke from Mind Gym. And if y'all want to come up and give a quick, do a like 15 seconds about Mind Gym, that would be awesome. Because they're a new creative business here in Winston-Salem, and we want to just introduce, this was our time to introduce the Velocity cohort, so come on over.
Good afternoon. I'm Matthew with 1 T, and this is Rahel with no C.
Hi.
Heineke, and we are the co-founders and owners of Mind Gym in Winston-Salem in the edutainment industry. We provide entertaining, educating, mind training for teams who want to be successful and improve their performance. We do it with a fun social program that engages you and gets you to think about using your mind every day in a unique and exciting way.
Good job. Thank you, Rahel and Matthew. Okay, so that was really cool. So you got to see one of our startups. Are there any other Velocity members on the call today? I can't see it, everybody. No, I don't think so. All right. Well, if anybody joins us, we can introduce them later. So Velocity, as I mentioned, is a program that we are going in right now. We will be launching our Kinetic Bootcamp in October. Applications for that will start in the later part of this month or early September. Kinetic is a 4-week boot camp that helps you if you're in the idea stage of your creative business, you're just getting started, you don't really know how to turn it into a business. That's what we help you with in Kinetic. And if you want, you can go to our website, kinetic.ccetriad.com, and you can find out more about that. But now I'm going to introduce to you Shelby Newsom, our marketing and events manager, and she's going to take us into the program. Thank you.
Thanks, Margaret. Hi, guys. I forgot we have slides to share, so I'm going to just share them really quick to accompany what we are talking about on today. One moment. Here we go. Present. Are you seeing the screen? Perfect. Mm-hmm. So to recap, this is our wonderful cohort for Velocity. You can go to our website and check out all of them at once. But yeah, we're super lucky. We have some great people. Rahel, Matthew, thank you for coming up here and telling us who you are. So I want to go over some opportunities that are available to everybody. So every Wednesday, Marketing Outside of the Box is hosted by Hustle Winston-Salem. And this month they are focused on email marketing, and their speaker, her name is Dominique, and I went last week and she's amazing. I suggest all of you check it out. I think Megali's on here. Next week is the last one, right?
Yes, that's correct.
It's absolutely wonderful, y'all. It's so good. Destiny's going to drop a link for the registration and links to all of the stuff I'm going to talk about quickly into the chat, just so you can check them out. NC Idea has launched their fall grant cycle for their micro and seed grants. So companies can apply. They're really for early stage and growth stage companies. So the micro grant provides $10,000 and the seed grant provides $50,000, and the deadline to apply is August 31st. NC Idea is a great supporter of entrepreneurial ecosystem in North Carolina. I'm echoing. Hold on. Hello? I'm not echoing anymore. So yes, check that out. It's a really great opportunity. Also, NC Idea has launched NC Idea Labs After Hours, and it's an 8-week evening-only online course for early stage ideas that really want some help with refining their business and getting some insight before jumping in with a full-time commitment. And the deadline to apply to that is September 7th. And the SBDTC is currently taking applications for their next cohort of Taking the Leap. And it's a 4-week online program designed for idea stage companies. And that's going to take place September 8th through the 29th. And it is completely free. So be sure to check that out. There's a lot of great programming going on right now for early stage companies. And then I would love for you guys to save the date for our demo day. It's going to be taking place October 1st. We are going to be completely virtual, so we will have an online platform that will allow you guys to meet the entire cohort and hear them give a 2-minute pitch, and we'll be talking about the impact of the creative economy. So definitely save that date, and more to that for that will be coming soon. So I do want to let you guys know, Momentum, we have a full website with content to help you build your business. So Momentum is membership based. If you would like to have a profile on this website, it's really cool. You can create a profile with your skills, linking to your business and linking to your social media channels, your work, and more. And we basically implemented a timeline like you would see on Facebook or LinkedIn, and it allows you to share your own content and allows you to stay connected with other members outside of these monthly meetups. So definitely check out the website. We have 3 tiers for the membership for students, individuals, and businesses. But yeah, you can definitely check that out on the website and let us know if you have any questions. Again, thank you to our wonderful sponsors. We really couldn't do anything that we do without you guys, so we really appreciate it. Action Coach, Bank OZK, NC Idea, and Parsec Financial. Thank you guys. Okay. So I want to introduce our wonderful speaker, Mr. Teddy Burriss. We are lucky to have him join us today to share best practices on how creatives can increase their presence on LinkedIn and maximize its value as you build your business. Teddy is a LinkedIn strategist and trainer. Since early 2010, Teddy has been delivering LinkedIn training and coaching programs for business professionals, guiding them around the best practices and tactics of using LinkedIn as a business tool. He uses Toastmaster, Sandler training, networking skills, and certified social media strategist experiences to lead people in the best uses of LinkedIn. He regularly delivers strategic planning, corporate training and coaching, public speeches, seminars, workshops, virtual training, and one-on-one coaching to help others master LinkedIn for business. I am super excited to have Teddy join us today. Teddy, please take it away and teach us something good.
Shelby, I hope I didn't disappoint you because I didn't put a jacket on.
Oh, it's okay. Teddy, it's perfectly fine. You look wonderful.
How about shoes? Are shoes mandatory?
No, not today. Not today. You can wear basketball.
Good. I'm sure Rick appreciates hearing that.
Thanks, Teddy.
All right. How much time do I have? About 30 minutes, 20 minutes, how much?
Let's see. You have 35.
Okay.
Perfect.
I'm gonna set my timer to tell me that, dude, shut up in 30 minutes. So, and
Awesome.
the best way for me to do that is for you folks to ask me questions. So, you know, unmute yourself and just say, hey, and I'll shut up and I'll listen to your questions. But this conversation is really about why creative professionals should use LinkedIn. And I throw myself in that bucket in some respects. I try to be somewhat creative, and I try to do that with this conversation today. But LinkedIn is really all about all kinds of people connecting with all kinds of people. And I teach and coach and train and support businesses across all industries, and landscaping to architects to artists, and so and to you name it, every industry. I can tell you that I've coached them, and I can tell you right now, I won't tell you the whole story, but I have trained an exotic dancer on how to use LinkedIn. That's as much I'll say about that. So why is this important? Number one is LinkedIn's a professional networking site, okay? And so you need to have a presence to be discovered and through this tool. And the more you build your presence, highly relevant to your target audience, the more value that presence, i.e. LinkedIn profile, will have for you. Why? Because LinkedIn is a huge networking site. And the larger and more relevant you grow your LinkedIn network, as well as your in real life network, the easier it is to be discovered and to discover and then connect with other people in your sandbox who may play with the toys you play with or the toys you want to play with. So think about that, and it's a really powerful perspective. The third thing is reputation. The more people see you engaging in conversation, sharing relevant, useful, honest, transparent, interesting, exciting, motivational, inspirational content, the more your personal and your professional reputation grows. It's huge. Why? Because there are lots of resources on LinkedIn that can benefit you. And you can find these resources globally. Again, ideas, unique perspectives, knowledge, interesting stories, people, motivation, inspiration, encouragement, philosophies that you have never imagined before that can absolutely have a huge impact on your creative powers. Why? Because LinkedIn can be useful for life, business, community, careers, friends, all kinds of different connection points across your entire life. So what social media sites are useful to creative pros? This is by the way, I love this graphic because it's bright, but Google Plus is dead for all intents and purposes. So let's talk about LinkedIn a little bit. The statistics. Today was on 8/6 when I put this measurement together, 681,434,276 people were on LinkedIn based on my measure. LinkedIn says it's closer to 700 plus million. 2 new members every second. That's huge. 2 new LinkedIn members every second. There are about 54 million companies listed on LinkedIn in every industry, including many in the creative space that you can imagine. Ad firms, PR firms, graphic design firms, marketing firms, labeling firms, design firms, architecture firms, musical associations, et cetera, et cetera. It's a huge number of organizations across all areas of, again, life, business, and career. I wish I had a new number. About 3 times a year, I send a message to the LinkedIn PR people and I beg them for a new number, but they refuse to acknowledge my query being important. Maybe because I'm only one of few who share it. But look at this number. In 1 quarter, it's 90, is that 90 days? No, 1 quarter is 120 days. No, it's 90 days. 45 billion LinkedIn profile views. And back in 2016, there were far less people on LinkedIn and far less usage. So do your own imagination of how big that number is today. It's well over 45 billion. I want to be a part of that. It is the de facto primary social media site for business professionals looking, just put a period at the end, looking for all kinds of different things. Again, ask any question if you have a question. And furthermore, if you're, you build the right LinkedIn profile focused on your target audience using the words they use, then you can be indexed not only in LinkedIn, but in Google. If you want to validate that I think I'm saying that correctly, somebody jump over to Google and do a LinkedIn search for 2 words, LinkedIn trainer, and let me know what you find. This is a philosophy that freaks some people out, but I think it's important to talk about. Should we let our networks organically overlap? As a creative professional, should you let your networks organically overlap? Here's my perspective. Let's say I have somebody dropped in the chat, and in the chat, Shelby says she found some weirdo by the name of Teddy Burriss, probably high in that list on a Google search. I would bet, based on the amount of money I spent on that. Ask me about that later. Should we let our networks organically overlap? I think, based on the research I did on everybody who was on this call, that you all have these 3 networks. I think that you all have your friends and family network. You all have your business and career network and your civic and community networks. I would wager in lots of different ways that maybe your friends and family are connected to you on places like Instagram and Snapchat and Facebook. Maybe your business and career connections are connected to you on maybe LinkedIn, maybe Instagram, maybe Twitter, maybe about.me, Alignable, et cetera, et cetera. Then you have your civic and community networks. Maybe you follow their company pages. Maybe you follow them on Twitter or Instagram, but the individuals there may or may not be connected to you in other spaces. This is a huge missed opportunity based on my real life experiences. I made a very deliberate decision in 2005 to fix this. And so what I did is I let my networks organically overlap. And I let my friends and family, my business and career, my civic and community networks overlap, which also means I let my LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, not Tinder, I keep that sort of separate, joke, and I'm not on there, but I let all these organically overlap. There are 4 or 5 people on this call who are Facebook friends, follow each other on Instagram, maybe follow each other on TikTok. We're connected on LinkedIn, et cetera, et cetera. This is where the magic is. When you let your networks organically overlap, you create a much greater power because we get to stay aware of each other in lots of different ways. Community, civic, friends, family, business, career. We get to know each other deeper. And again, I let it organically overlap, which means I don't force everybody to be a Facebook friend or follow me on TikTok. But where I can do it and where I can let it happen, I do that. Far greater success and enjoyment. Right there. LinkedIn is a powerful tool for creatives and people who love creatives. And there's the magic there. It's not just to be there, it's to find the people who care about you, love you, trust you, respect you. And it starts with your LinkedIn profile. Starts with building a profile that's meaningful and relevant and focused. And telling your target audience who you are, what you do, what you can do, your accomplishments, and listen to these words, what you enjoy doing. Because when your target audience discovers that about you, they are more likely to want to A, maybe connect with you, B, know more about you, C, maybe follow you, D, maybe get in a conversation with you because you're telling them who you are relevant to them. There's 11 different areas on your LinkedIn profile you can use. primary areas. There are, you need to think keywords when you're speaking about your role. You need to talk about, and speak to your most important viewer. Your headline, which is the section below your name, needs to be focused on who you are and what you do, keyword rich. Your summary section needs to include relevant stories, your prior experience only where relevant to today. Do not speak about the time back in 1900, never you mind, when you drove a trash truck in the morning and delivered caskets in the afternoon for the same company. That's not relevant to what I do today. Put your relevant education, your relevant skills, collect purposefully relevant recommendations, share volunteer that's relevant to your community. And by the way, the word relevant crosses all kinds of areas, not just business. Make sure your contact information is up to date and you're accessible. Have a glorious picture, maybe a little glorious than mine. Everybody needs a picture that shows you're approachable, and build a profile that speaks to your target audience. Oh, did I say anything about grammar and spell checking? If you want to see what I mean about that, in that context, do a LinkedIn search for Manger or pubic relations. And for the sake of time, I'm not going to drill into my profile. We'll come back at the end and where we need to, and we'll look at different profiles depending upon time. Again, unmute yourself or use the chat box and ask any question. So as you're building your profile, you need to start building your network, and your network needs to be relevant. You want to connect with people who are highly relevant to your business, to your goals. You want to make sure that your invitations have a clear purpose. And ideally, that purpose is just to connect. It's the first goal, is to connect. You want to accept invites with a specific purpose in mind, clearly. You don't want to connect with every Tom, Dick, Harry, and Pam out there. That won't help you grow your business. Lady sent me a note the other day and says, Teddy, we ought to connect on LinkedIn because I've mastered it. I went from 400 connections to 18,000 in 18 months. Like, why? Why? Every invite needs to have a personal note, clearly telling that person that you're inviting to connect why you want to connect with them. What relevance do you see? And really, remember, it's all about connecting. And the moment you connect, you have to engage. I call it engage immediately. Every single person I connect with, I engage with. And my level of engagement will be directly relevant or proportional to that person's relevance to my business. And what I mean by that, if I connect with someone who's my target audience, a potential prospect or business connection, they may get a phone call. If I'm a career coach, volunteer career coach. So when I connect with people in that space, they may just get a LinkedIn message. I don't want to be rude, but I want to be purposeful, and I want to be time sensitive to the amount of time I invest. And when my first engagement is all about them, not about me. Hannah says, what's particularly important for students building their LinkedIn profiles or getting ready to graduate and starting a job, searching career as a career professional? How is it different for students look for freelance work or for a job? For me, it makes no difference, freelance work or job. I want to build a profile as a college student, college grad, or business professional, telling my target audience what I do, what I love to do, what I could do, what I've learned to do, my accomplishments. And so if you don't have a whole lot of career experience, that's okay. Tell stories about what you love to do. I hope that helps, Hannah. When you send an invite, you never ask for a job or try to sell something. It's about connecting. And you don't let all these sent invites stack up. You manage the invites you send out. And if you're not sure whether or not you should connect with Tom, Dick, or Pam, ask them. It's really easy to do. From the invitation manager. Ask before accepting. And meet someone new every day of your life. Thank you, Hannah. Meet someone new every day of your life. And when you go to conferences or you're on webinars, as I just did with a few already today, look for ways to connect with them or just to say hello to them if you're already connected. And lastly, I think ask for introductions. If you don't know the person you want to connect with, don't send them an invite. Ask for an introduction from someone you know who knows them. Again, we'll depend upon time, we'll look at that. So you're building this absolutely fantastic LinkedIn profile. You're looking good. You're wearing your best clothes. You're presenting your best skills. You're talking about your best abilities and accomplishments. You look fabulous. Then what you do is you're growing this LinkedIn network of people who are highly relevant to you. You're growing a network of people who trust, respect, and like you, and people who are relevant to you, may be of interest to you. This is like networking 101. You look good, you put your best shoes on, you polish them, you put a jacket on, your hair is brushed, and you go to a networking event, CCE or Flywheel or wherever, and you show up and half the people in the room love you and the other half the people are relevant to you. And then what do? You stand in a corner beside the biscuits. That doesn't create value. This applies to LinkedIn as well. So when you're connecting with your target audience and you're connecting with your peers, people who are in your sandbox who play with the toys you play with, and you're connecting, you need to get into conversations. You need to say something, do something, make some noise relevant to them, of interest to them, useful to them, so that they stare at you like these dogs are staring at me and freaking me out. Because they want to hear more. They want to know more. That's how you build trust, respect, and like in real life. It's how you do it on social media. It's how you move to opportunity. It's how you move to what I call ink on paper. And it's also how you move to creating friends and learning from each other and helping each other. This is important. People miss out on this all the time. They build a beautiful profile and they do nothing, or they become this, a serial liker. You can't be a serial liker. Here's a story. It just recently happened. So a buddy of mine was working for the company called the Brooks Group, and he gets promoted to president. And I saw it in the Business Journal. So I was like, man, I'm so happy for Gary as he's back in the place he wants to be. He's in the seat in the sandbox he wants to be. This is good stuff. So I posted this and I tagged the company. I tagged my buddy. I tagged the president. I tagged the leaders of the company, the founders, what they founded it with their dad. And I tagged the Business Journal article. And I was just excited for my buddy. And I know all of these players in this conversation. So I tagged this guy and I posted that. And within 3 weeks, because this is a 3-week-old image, it got 4,500 sets of eyeballs, had 45 comments, 92 touches. I sent a message to my friend Gary and I apologized to him for having to work so hard, because he just didn't accept those comments to say thank you and congratulations and hooray for Gary. He engaged with every one of them. And he said to me, some of them were a phone call. Some of them were an email. Some of them turned to a conversation. This is engagement. Show up and say something, do something relevant. And by the way, look at this methodology, this philosophy here. There is nothing in there about Teddy Burriss, but that is all about Teddy Burriss, because on the top of that post is my name and my company and my call to action. But it wasn't about me. And that is powerful. Get into relevant, interesting conversations. Share relevant and interesting content. If it ain't right, don't touch it. And you can use that phrase, if it ain't right, any way you want. If it's not real, it's fake, or it's not relevant to you. And please do not become a serial liker. Get into conversations via meaningful comments and make your comments interesting. Stick to the conversation. Do not hijack the post. If it's about kittens, then your conversation needs to be about kittens, or you better not even show up. And don't disrespect your brand, your personal or your professional brand, by using the wrong words or getting into the wrong conversation or arguing. And you need to be consistent with this. You need to do something that you can sustain on a regular basis, whether you choose to do it daily, every other day, once a week, or whatever. It needs to be consistent. You need to use all of the different styles of content or types of content that you can use, because you know as well as I do, or maybe better than I do as a creative, there are some types of content that appeal to some that don't appeal to others. So you can't just rely on video or images or articles, case studies, or white papers. You got to be diverse. And don't ignore the happy birthday, happy anniversary, career changes. Those are powerful ways to get into conversations. And don't miss out on the opportunity to turn the conversation into kneecap to kneecap. Maybe during the pandemic, those kneecaps are 6 feet apart, ear to ear, eye to eye. Any way you can, get off of social media and get into real conversations. Maybe Zoom or Skype or Microsoft Teams or telephone. Let's get a beer. Let's get a cup of coffee. By the way, one of the guys I was engaged with the other day said, dude, I'd love to get together with you and have a cup of coffee. I sent a message back and said, absolutely, let's have a cup of coffee. You bring your cup to your office. I'll bring mine to my office. We did Zoom. We scheduled a half an hour. It went for an hour. Great, great conversations. I'm going to look at my engagement, but I want to be cognizant of time. Ever bitten? How are you supposed to be bitten anybody? Questions, thoughts, ideas. Feel free to unmute yourself or use the chat and ask me any question. I want to really get you, Shelby. I didn't purposely call you out, but you shared it with everyone, so you called yourself out. What questions do you folks have that I can help you with?
Teddy, I have one.
Who is this?
This is Beverly Moser.
Okay.
When I hear this, it's exciting, and yet there's so many things that it just seems like this can become, almost being answering and responding and answering and responding. So, how do people manage? Do they say, I'm just going to spend this much time, like you said, a week or every other day, and that's it? But if you're engaging with people, it just looks like you couldn't make it that defined.
So this is important. If you can't figure this out, it'll be stressful, and I don't want it to be stressful. Yeah. I tell people to commit a certain amount of time each week that you know you can commit to. And if you're trying to build your brand, hopefully you've got a lot of time in your week to build your brand and grow your opportunities. So figure out how much time can you invest in building your brand through building out a meaningful profile, building out your network in a meaningful, deliberate way, and then again, getting into the right kinds of conversations. And you'll see that, I get people who tag me and engage with me all the time. I don't necessarily engage with them all back. I don't have time. I don't have time to connect with and engage with everybody. But I'm very purposeful about the amount of time I invest sharing content, posting. And some of it I automate, Beverly. I don't do everything. And I don't publicly tell everybody. I can tell you that's automated. If I do a PSA, that's live. Okay. But this is automated. This is what I call my fodder content. But you've got to make a decision how much time you want to invest using a new tool, doing new things. And then you've got to, this is the last thing that's important, Beverly, measure the value. And if you discover there's value, then you might decide to crank it up. If you discover it's not working, the first thing I'm going to tell you to do is evaluate what you're doing and should you pivot. before you give up. I hope that helps.
Sure, thank you, it does.
Say, I have another one came in through chat, I think. Martha Larson, am I going to share my slides of you? Yes, ma'am, I will. Yeah, I'll share it with you. I'll have to do that through Shelby because I don't think I have everybody's email address. But if you all send me an email, I'll drop my email in here. I can make sure I get a hold of you. There's my email address. Feel free to drop me a message and say, Teddy, I want your slide deck. Catherine asks, I received a request from a solopreneur using their business name instead of their name and the logo of the business of their photo. Oh, gross. Their position was CEO of XXX, but no other information. Ugh, yeah. I'm throwing up here, Catherine. Clearly not right. You're correct. Says people use avatars on Twitter and Instagram, but can you clarify how entrepreneurs should be using their business profile? Yes, ma'am. By the way, this is my personal profile. This is Teddy Burriss's personal profile. This is my business page, okay? There are two different animals. Business page, you're looking at it from my measurement. This is public view. And this right here is my personal profile. This needs to represent Teddy as a human being. The other one needs to represent the business. So this should be my personal profile picture, my name, all about me as a person. If you read all my content throughout here, it talks about Teddy as a person in the role that I have, in the sandbox I play in with the toys I play with. Catherine, I hope that helps. What other questions, folks? I have 3 minutes left.
Hey, Teddy. Hannah actually put a question in the chat. She said, what are the best ways to signal that you are looking for a job in a tactful way?
I'm sorry, I missed that, Hannah. What's the best way to position yourself that you're looking for a job? Well, there's a couple of ways you can do this, okay? First of all, first and foremost, do not put right here, I need a job. That is the most important piece of content on LinkedIn, the most important field on LinkedIn. You need to use a keyword rich. There is a section on LinkedIn that I experiment with. I got it, Hannah. You're not looking for a job. You're talking about students asking for a friend, and I'm just joking, Hannah. But there's a section called Open to Work that might show up here, and you can edit this, and you can put the kinds of titles you're looking for, the locations you're looking at, your availability. But check this out. There are lots of people who are not fans of this because it shows that you might be desperate. I think that showing this right here, come on. I think this right here is deliberate messaging where you put the Open to Work logo. How long this is going to last, I don't know. But I think it's purposeful, deliberate messaging, especially if in this field right here, you tell your most important viewer what you do, what you love to do, what you can do, keyword rich, and you tell a story. But this makes it totally 100% public. But if I go back and I turn that off, share of recruiters only, then this does not show up for anybody but recruiters, and I don't have that logo there. Again, I think if you're going to market yourself as open for work, you should consider these kinds of opportunities. But most importantly, you should make sure your brochure clearly says who you are, what you do, focused on your target audience, and you should connect very purposely with your target audience. I hope that makes sense, Hannah. Deborah asks, what should you do if you have different interests? I have a master's in elementary education, but want to grow my photography business. So do you have to use different profiles? The LinkedIn terms of services says one profile for each human heart. I don't think they use those words. One profile for each human. So you need to make a very deliberate decision. What is the most important thing you can be marketing yourself for on LinkedIn? And that's what you lead with. But if you go down here, you'll see I do lots of things. Not only am I a LinkedIn strategist, time's up, but I'm also a leadership coach. I do webinar design. I'm a career coach, okay? So I lead with the thing that's the most important to me, but I share these other activities. And by the way, this has gotten me business as well. But focus on the most important thing, Deborah. Shelby, is there anything else that you want me to make sure to discuss, or did I miss anything?
Well, we have time if anybody has some burning questions.
I'm not in a hurry to leave you guys. If I can help you, I'm here to help.
Yeah, feel free, guys, if you have some more questions.
Beverly, I couldn't find you on LinkedIn unless you used to work for another company.
No, I'm not on LinkedIn yet. That's one reason why I wanted to listen to this webinar because I need to get on LinkedIn and I wanted to do it right and well.
So,
Up to this point, I haven't been, I just haven't gone there. So now I need to.
yeah.
Thanks for looking for me, though.
So what other questions can I help you with? Anybody? Terry, good to see you out there. Martha, Magali. Would you recommend that students use phrases like early career and similar phases, or just draw attention to being interpreted as lacking value due to relative less experience? Would you recommend that students use phrases like early career and similar phrases? So look, I do career coaching on a regular basis as well. So I tell people in career space, if you're an old goat, don't tell people you're an old goat on LinkedIn. You don't need to tell people how old you are, how long you've been doing it. Tell people what you can do, what you have done, what you enjoy doing, what you've learned to do. So you don't need to draw attention to this as you're an early adopter or your early career. Look, when I went looking at the brand new Tesla Model 300 the other day, because I can afford to buy one now thanks to what I'm charging the CCE for this event. When I went looking for that car, nowhere on that brochure does it say that this is a brand new model. It talks about the value of that model. It talks about what that model brings to you, how it can help you, impact you, make your life richer, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I'd say don't draw attention to I'm early into the career or I'm an old goat.
Any other questions, friends?
Hi, it's
Feeling
Catherine
good?
James. I do have a quick question. I noticed that every time I look at someone else's profile, it shows up, and it also shows up for me who's been looking at profile, which is great when you want it to be. I think you have to have a paid profile or is there a way to turn off views for a free profile?
Catherine James, did I spell your name correctly?
That's me.
Which one of these is you? Up here?
The top one.
Okay. So, I just looked at your profile. No, don't turn off that, Catherine. What you're talking about is this. You're talking about, look, I got 3,200 views, and that's an okay number for me. It needs to be closer to 3,800, okay? I want to know when people look at my profile. Now, by the way, I'm paying for LinkedIn, and the advantage I get is I can see the last 90 days of profile views. If you're not paying for LinkedIn, you're only going to see the last 5 people. And this box is typically going to be an upsell box. But if you're having less than 150 profile views in 90 days, 5 is all you need to see. Okay, but don't turn it off. 2 reasons why you don't want to turn off. There is a way to do it. It's in settings. It's under, profile view options. You can be totally public as I am. You can hide by an industry or a school, or you can hide and be totally hidden. Don't. And the reason why you don't want to do that is if you're hiding, you can't see who sees you. And I want you to know that I looked at your profile. That creates an opportunity for conversation.
Agree, but there are some people that I want to see what they posted, and it's it might not be high in my feed, and I don't want them to see that I'm looking every single day.
So here's how you do that. Here's how you do that. So, I go to your profile, I go down to your activity page, see all activity. So there's the URL right there. So all I do is bookmark that, and I put it under, my peekaboo of Catherine. And I bookmarked that, and then I'm in LinkedIn. Like, let me go see what Catherine's doing. And now I don't know where the hell that went to. There it is right here. And now I went and looked at your activity page, and I'm not looking at your profile.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh,
We are going to be creepers.
wait, could you do that one more time, please?
No, I didn't. You should have been paying attention. I'm joking. Okay. So I went to your profile, and I get here's your activity page. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's the URL for it. This is your activity. Now, if I go to your post, I can go specifically just to your shares, your post. So I can bookmark that, put it in my secondary sites. And then later on, I go, you know what? I wonder what this Catherine lady's up to. Let me go see my peekaboo sites. And I don't do this, but I teach people to do it. And there's your, your stuff right there. And so now I'm looking at your activity. Now, Catherine, I need to test this a little bit because I need to make sure 100% that it doesn't show up as I looked at your profile, because I don't think it does. It looks at this. So I'm going to test this to be sure. But how often you do it, bookmark it. And I really would encourage you, don't worry about what people think. Do what you think you want to do. Do what you need to do. Don't worry about what they think.
Well, most of the time I definitely want them to see, but if I'm looking every day, I think that could be creepy.
Yeah. Don't look every day. You want me to tell you how to do that? Now, besides the peekaboo thing, make sure, are these people you're connected with or not connected with?
Connected.
Okay.
Yeah, just people that jobs that I want, companies. It's that way. It's not personal creepy. It's more career, what did they post? Can I respond to something that they said and be relevant?
And that's exactly how I would have expected you to explain that to me.
Okay.
So, yeah, I get you. And I doubt you're going to go look at someone enough to where they think that you're stalking them. By the way, I don't think you're going to see Matthew. That's not going to happen. Not going to show up. It just, the algorithm is not going to put Matthew's name in there every day. So I wouldn't worry about it. I really wouldn't worry about it.
Okay.
But you always have the option to bookmark it.
I like that. Thank you.
Marty, I'm sneaky. What are the benefits of premium when someone should upgrade? Here's my answer to that question. Do not pay for LinkedIn until you've mastered the basics of using LinkedIn. Do not pay for LinkedIn just so you can see all the freaks that are looking at your profile. So you can see that Catherine lady is peeking at you every day. Don't pay for LinkedIn for those reasons. The only reason I recommend, for the most part, that you pay for LinkedIn is when you get serious at prospecting. That's the most important reason to pay for LinkedIn. If you're doing enough search in LinkedIn, then you need to use the business premium, or you need to use this thing called Sales Navigator, which is another interface to LinkedIn that gives you way more power.
Cool.
What other questions, folks? And Catherine, I hope you're good with me playing with you with my words.
Oh, absolutely. That's not a problem at all. Thank you very much.
Anybody else?
Wrap it up with the slide, with our. Thank you, Teddy.
I'm handing it back to you, ladies. Thanks for letting me show up.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it. You're awesome.
1 second. Okay. And
There we go.
here we go. Perfect, Margaret. Please,
Okay.
you wrap it up.
So here we go. Thanks, Shelby. Thank you all for joining us. We do this every month, except for next month. We won't be doing it because we have on October 1st, we have our demo day. So October 1st, we want you to save that date, and later in the afternoon, we're still determining the time. It'll be between 4 and 6. we will be hosting our Velocity cohorts. There's going to be a really cool interactive platform. It will not be Zoom, for you to engage with the members of the cohort and with each other. So you'll be able to meet people. It's going to be a really cool networking experience. So please keep that date on your calendar. And then, as we mentioned earlier, we have a boot camp that we're going to be offering again. It's called Kinetic, between October 26th and November 20th. It is for idea stage startups. It is, you have not started, you probably don't have an LLC, you just got that idea, you're really trying to figure it out. Please join us for that. It's going to be an awesome experience for 4 weeks. It's a 4-week boot camp. Okay, and I want everybody to give a virtual wave to Teddy and thank him for being part of this. It was great. Thank you so much, Teddy. You are always an amazing speaker, and you get us all inspired to do better on LinkedIn. Which
I don't find Beverly out there within the next few weeks, I will hunt her down because she's already told me where she lives.
He means it too, Beverly. So get your LinkedIn profile up there. And Teddy is a great resource, y'all. When I started CCE, everybody said, oh, you got to talk to Teddy. He came to my office. He sat me down. He just explained all this to me. He is really good about helping you when you're stuck and you just don't know how to proceed. So definitely reach out to him if you need more than this. And we did record it and we will send it out. If you're on here, we should have your email, and Shelby will send the slides. Teddy, if you want to just send them to Shelby, we'll get them out to everybody. But I do want to encourage you to reach out directly to Teddy if you need more. So that's about it. I think we're ready to wrap it up. Any final questions or thoughts from anybody?
Bob, if you're at 1801 Rockville Pike, be careful of the ghosts that are going up and down that road, because I spent a lot of time on that road. Thank you for letting me come, Margaret. I appreciate it.
He also has a great sense of humor, so you just can't. You just laugh when you're with Teddy. You laugh a lot, which is a lot of fun. So it was so good to see all of you on our on the call today, and please come back. Engage with us. If you're interested in membership, hang out on momentum.ccetriad.com or send us an email and we'll tell you more about it.
Thank you, Margaret.
You're welcome. Thank you, Beverly.
All right, bye-bye.
All right, y'all take care. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.